Hey guys, it's Allison coming back. I wanted to film a 15-week update because I'll be 16 weeks tomorrow. And so I have my dog sitting here visiting me. If you see me look down, the animals will probably come in and out of this video. But I will be 15 or 16 weeks tomorrow. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the symptoms I've been going through the last week, even do, or show you a bump at the end. I'll show you the updated bump. I don't think I've shown you guys my bump like this on a video. So I can also put a picture of what it looked like last week, so you can kind of have something to compare it to. But yeah, so I wanted to just go ahead and jump in. This week has been actually really interesting because I've never done a weekly update before. This might be it'd be hard to compare it to the weeks prior, but I've had some interesting symptoms that have come through on and off. I think I talked a little bit about nausea being a big thing in the first trimester. The first 8 weeks it was pretty bad. It got a lot better. Well, it's creeping back on and off. And that's another thing, as you might notice, I get out of breath very easily. We have a 2-story house, and normally I can go up and down the stairs no problem, and that is not the case anymore. Going up the stairs, I am completely winded, and that is definitely a newer thing. I may be a thicker woman, but I've never had that much of a problem going up my own stairs. So that's been a fun one. But the normal things that I think are things that are pretty typical for this week. So like breast tenderness is a big one. Like I said, nausea is starting to creep back. It's actually been weirdly creeping back in the middle of the night. And so because it's creeping back in the middle of the night, sometimes it will wake me up. Sleep has been very hard as well. My husband bought me a kind of like a pregnancy pillow. I can put a link below for the pillow that we bought, and I actually really like it. I am so cozy and cuddly there, and I could spend the whole day there, but in the night, it took me probably 3 nights to actually get used to sleeping with it, because it keeps you kind of cocooned, because the pillow wraps around your neck and then it wraps between your legs. And now that my belly is getting bigger, it's actually been helpful to support my belly, because I always tend to want to lay almost all the way on my stomach. So it kind of stops me. My belly's now stopping me from doing that, but the pillow makes me comfortable even though I can't sleep how I want to. So that's been really nice, but I am still getting up all the time. Probably, depending on the night, sometimes it's every hour, sometimes it's every few hours, but I definitely don't get a ton of sleep at night. I don't get a ton of uninterrupted sleep. I might be looking down at my list so that I keep myself on track, but weirdly, this last week, allergies have been huge for me. When we first moved back to Arizona, I started having them in November-ish, which is seems very odd to me, but apparently is normal in this area. But yeah, they're starting to creep in for spring allergies, which is very weird for me. So, and they're strong. They're coming on strong. Almost some days it's just completely debilitating how just like heavy my head is, and just headaches and things like that. So when that would happen, I just started to sleep them off. But I called my doctor to see if there's anything I can do to make it more livable, since I was now moving out of spring break and I was starting back in school. And she said that I was able to take Claritin D, and I am big on not taking any medications, but I try to be as holistic as possible, but this was something that I just couldn't find a remedy that actually was helping, that was holistic. So I ended up having to run with Claritin D, and honestly, it is a miracle, because I take it only when it gets to the point where I really can't handle it anymore, which I've only taken it twice in the last few weeks, but those 2 days that I took it, I've felt like $1,000,000. So it is good to know that it's an option when it gets bad. And I have heard that allergies are something that come on around this time. I think my Ovia pregnancy app actually said that you might notice your allergies getting bad, and I'm like, that is super bizarre, but pregnancy does a bunch of weird stuff to your body, so I believe it. But yeah, so that definitely happened for me. So my appetite is definitely getting a little bit aggressive. I think I've talked about that in the past videos, but I am hungry very quickly, but weirdly I'm actually getting full very quickly. And so normally I can eat a pretty decent meal and it'll last me a while. Now it doesn't last me very long, unless I'm feeling bloated. Like today is actually an odd day where I woke up, had my normal scrambled egg breakfast, and just I've been full ever since, and I think it's like maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had that early in the day. So I think I had that around maybe 7:30 or 8. So and I even went for my walk and did all my normal things and took a nap even, and I'm just now barely starting to get hungry. But that's not normal for me for the last week. It's been starvation mode after like 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes of after eating. So that has been definitely a big change. Something new this week has actually been headaches. And I don't know if they're attributed to the allergies, because I don't have them always in my sinus area. They're actual pounding headaches. They almost feel like the headaches I would get when I would be getting my, my monthly cycle. So I don't know if it is attributed to pregnancy. I've read about them being very common during pregnancy, so I would assume that it's possible. But that has been really tough and just really uncomfortable, which is also why I've been taking naps, because the only way to get rid of them is to take naps. I'm trying not to take too much Tylenol or too many pain meds. Even the safe ones, I don't want to mess with it as much. So I try to just do as many holistic ways of getting rid of it, and the most effective holistic way of getting rid of it is sleeping. So that's what I've been doing. A big one is acid reflux. I have been getting crazy acid reflux, like after every few meals, and several people have told me that's because our baby must have a lot of hair, and that is very possible. But yeah, it has been pretty intense and uncomfortable. I am so bloated, and I don't know if it's that I'm bloated or if it's that I'm just pregnant, like just getting big. But I am just blowing up like a balloon. I feel like a very large person now. I'm already a large person, but I'm feeling just that much bigger. So I'm learning. I've talked about body image, and I do want to do an actual video about it because it's a big subject for me. And I think it's a really important one to draw attention to, because it is very hard to talk about, I think, for a lot of people. And for me, I have been trying to work through the motions of that, of the body image stuff. And so I'm actually getting to a point where I feel a lot more comfortable with it. I feel much more just like I've reached a point where I feel just my body needs to do what it needs to do. So I'll make a video about that. But yeah, so I've been feeling just large, but less depressed about it. More that I just have to find clothes that fit. That's just the way it is now. I just have to find something that fits. And I've just been really hot. I am just like hot all the time. I think part of it is just because it's getting warm. We don't usually turn on the AC until later on in the season, but we are like, I am ready to turn on the AC, which I did. So so that's something else that has been kind of a new thing. The first trimester I was like freezing. I couldn't get warm, and now I'm just at the complete opposite spectrum, and I'm freaking hot. So it's been interesting. But yeah, so those are my symptoms I wanted to talk about. We have a doctor's appointment on Friday. We don't have an ultrasound. It'll just be kind of like a checkup. Our next ultrasound is at 18 weeks, so we still have 2 weeks or so until that one. Actually, I think it's at 19 weeks because it's in April sometime. So 19 weeks, so about 3 weeks. And that'll be the big anatomy scan, so I'll talk about that. I probably won't video it, but I'll talk a little bit about it and you know, show or talk to you guys about how it went. So I want to show you some different vitamins that I started taking. I want to start bringing up some products that I try and that work. Normally I was taking, even for like 6 to 8 months before I got pregnant, I was taking a prenatal, that was a gummy, because I am a wimp and I hate swallowing pills and I suck at it. So I was taking a gummy, and it was doable. But I don't think that they had enough nutrition in them, and I also just didn't like the idea of having them being just overly crazy processed. So I researched vitamins, and I found these that I'm in love with. They're from Vitamin Code. I have no idea if you can even see that. That's pretty glary. But I'll put the name of it down below. We bought it off Amazon Prime, and it's just raw prenatal vitamins. It is like, it has tons of everything that we need plus some, and it's all vegetarian, you know, gluten-free, dairy-free, everything free, and all that. So I've actually been really enjoying them. They do have kind of a weird taste when you're swallowing them. You can kind of tell that it's a vitamin, but I take it with lemonade and I don't notice it as much. So since I told you guys in my last video, I've been listening to Dr. Oz's book about pregnancy, and he talks a lot about DHA and how beneficial it is for pregnancy. I couldn't find a prenatal that had enough DHA in it to make it worth it to purchase it, or to switch from Vitamin Code. So I decided to just buy a DHA, or prenatal DHA to supplement with. So I found these, which, wow, you really can't see that. That's pretty bad. Again, I'll put it down below, but it's by Viva Naturals, and it's the prenatal DHA. It has 1,000 milligrams in it, and it says that it has no fishy aftertaste. It supports brain development, which we know DHA does that. DHA does a ton of awesome stuff, and so this is pretty awesome. Very minimal ingredients. I haven't tried them yet, so I don't know how they actually taste. But we just recently got them in yesterday, and so I'll try them out and I'll let you guys know. But I definitely want to make sure that I get enough DHA, tons of folic acid. Vitamin Code, these prenatals don't actually have folic acid. They have folate, which is the whole original version of folic acid. So it is the unprocessed version of folic acid. Folic acid is the later version once it's been processed. So I love that. I love anything unprocessed and totally whole and organic. So that is, I'm really excited about it, and I haven't been getting nauseous or any weird side effects from them. So that has been really awesome. So those are the products. The only other thing are clothes I wanted to talk about. I struggle with finding maternity clothes that fit my body. I have you know, the hips and all that before I got pregnant, so a lot of maternity clothes just kind of don't fit right. They just don't fit my shape. So it's been kind of weird. Leggings are really my most popular thing that I wear, and I found them from Target. If you find the right brand, I think they are not Exhilaration. I should know this is not helpful, but there's a brand at Target that is like $40 for leggings, and there's a brand that's $17. So I bought the $17 leggings, and they are a dream. They're so comfortable. I wear them every day. I'm wearing them right now. And so that has been great. Haven't found any jeans that I absolutely love. I bought some from Old Navy that I think I just need to wash and have them kind of shrink, because they're just kind of baggy after a day of using them. I think once my belly gets bigger, it might be a little bit different, but anyways, that's close. So I will show you the belly bump. Move my chair back here. So I don't know how much of this you can see. Here we go. So I'm starting to get even more of a poke out. It seems really big to me for being only 16 weeks, but as you can see, I already have my own curves, so So you can tell that that is definitely starting to look more like a pregnancy belly. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching, and if you like the video please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and next video will probably be about body image or maybe about food. I need to kind of decide which ones I'm going to do. Otherwise we'll see you guys next time. Thanks guys!